Motu Patlu and the Treasure of the Lost Kingdom. In the bustling town of Furfuri Nagar, where peace and tranquility usually reigned, a mysterious event was about to change everything. Motu and Patlu, the inseparable best friends, were about to embark on their biggest adventure yet. One sunny afternoon, while sipping hot samosas at their favorite stall, Motu spotted an old man struggling with a large, dusty map. The old man, with a long white beard and frail hands, seemed troubled. His eyes were filled with stories of far-off lands and forgotten legends. Curious, Motu and Patlu approached him. "Can we help you, uncle?" asked Patlu. The old man looked up with a glint in his eyes. "You two are just the kind of brave souls I need," he said, his voice trembling with excitement. "I have been searching for the legendary treasure of the Lost Kingdom for decades. This map will lead to it, but I am too old for the journey now." Motu's eyes widened at the word treasure, and he could already imagine all the samosas he could buy with it. "We'll help you find the treasure," Motu declared, his stomach growling in agreement. Patlu, more cautious, asked, "What kind of danger are we talking about?" The old man smiled mysteriously. "The Lost Kingdom is hidden deep in the jungle, guarded by ancient creatures and riddled with traps. Only those with pure hearts can survive." Despite Patlu's reservations, Motu convinced him that this was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. They took the map and set off on their adventure, with their loyal friends Dr. Jhatka and Ghasitaram by their side, along with Inspector Chingam, who promised to maintain full-on power during the expedition. Into the jungle. Their journey began with a long trek into the dense jungle. The map led them through narrow, winding paths filled with thick vines and towering trees. As they ventured deeper, they began to hear strange noises, distant howls, rustling leaves, and the occasional growl. Motu, as usual, was fearless but always thinking about food. "I hope we find some samosas along the way," he said, rubbing his belly. Patlu rolled his eyes. "Focus, Motu. We're here to find the treasure, not a snack bar." Suddenly, the ground beneath them shook, and out of nowhere, a massive boulder began rolling toward them. "Run!" Patlu shouted, grabbing Motu's hand as they dashed away from the oncoming boulder. They barely escaped, panting and gasping for breath. Dr. Jhatka, who had fallen behind, adjusted his goggles. "It seems this jungle has more tricks than we thought. But don't worry, I have a gadget for every situation." Using one of Dr. Jhatka's contraptions, they managed to bypass more traps, including a pit filled with snakes and a narrow bridge over a raging river. Inspector Chingam, with his usual dramatic flair, declared, "No one can escape the law, not even jungle traps." The hidden temple. After days of traveling, the group finally reached the hidden temple that was marked on the map. The entrance was a massive stone door adorned with intricate carvings of animals, kings, and mystical symbols. At the center was an inscription, "Only the worthy shall pass." Patlu, ever the thinker, examined the carvings. "It's a puzzle," he said. "We have to align these symbols in the right order to open the door." As Patlu and Dr. Jhatka worked on solving the puzzle, Motu decided to lean against a tree, unknowingly activating a hidden lever. The stone door creaked open with a loud rumble. I meant to do that," Motu said sheepishly. Inside, the temple was dark and eerie, with flickering torches lining the walls. Statues of ancient warriors stood on either side, their stone eyes seeming to follow their every move. At the end of the long hallway was a golden door, which, according to the map, led to the treasure room. "Be careful," Patlu warned. "There could be more traps ahead." Motu, ever eager, rushed toward the door. But just as he was about to open it, the floor gave way, and he fell into a hidden pit. "Motu!" Patlu shouted, reaching down to help him. "Don't worry, I'm okay," Motu called from below. "There's a soft landing here, and a lot of gold." The group quickly helped Motu climb back up, and together they ventured into the treasure room. Inside, they were met with the sight of mountains of gold coins, sparkling jewels, and ancient artifacts. At the center was a grand throne, upon which sat a glowing crown, the crown of the lost kingdom, the guardian of the treasure. Just as Motu was about to grab a handful of coins, the ground shook once more. A deep, rumbling voice echoed through the chamber. "Who dares to disturb the treasure of the lost kingdom?" From the shadows emerged a massive stone guardian, its eyes glowing red with ancient magic. "Only the pure of heart may claim the treasure," it boomed. "Those with greed shall be punished." Motu, trembling with fear, looked at Patlu. "What do we do now?" Patlu, ever the quick thinker, stepped forward. "We are not here for greed. We are here to protect the legacy of the lost kingdom and ensure its treasures are preserved." The guardian paused, its eyes scanning Patlu's sincere expression. "If your intentions are true, you must prove it." A series of trials began. The group had to solve riddles, navigate a maze filled with illusions, and show acts of kindness to the creatures of the jungle. Through teamwork and friendship, they passed every test, proving that they were not driven by greed but by the desire to help. Finally, the guardian lowered its weapon and bowed. "You are worthy. The treasure is yours to protect." The return to Furfuri Nagar. With the treasure secured, the group made their way back to Furfuri Nagar, where they were hailed as heroes. But instead of keeping the gold for themselves, Motu and Patlu decided to use it to build schools, hospitals, and parks for the people of their town. "Adventure is great," Patlu said with a smile, "but the greatest treasure is the happiness of our friends and family." Motu, munching on a samosa, nodded in agreement. "And samosas. Don't forget the samosas." And so, Furfuri Nagar thrived, thanks to the courage and selflessness of Motu and Patlu. Their adventure in the jungle became the stuff of legends. But for them, the true treasure was the bond they shared and the joy they brought to their beloved town. Motu Patlu and the Curse of the Moonstone. A few months after their jungle adventure, Motu and Patlu were back in Furfuri Nagar, enjoying their usual routine, Motu with his samosas and Patlu solving everyday problems with his cleverness. Life had returned to normal, but little did they know, another adventure was looming on the horizon. One evening, while taking a walk through the town square, a strange glow caught their attention. In the distance, a beautiful stone was shining under the moonlight, embedded in a strange pedestal at the edge of the forest. Curious and drawn by its magical aura, Motu couldn't resist. "Patlu, look at that glowing stone. It must be valuable. Maybe even better than the treasure we found." Patlu, more cautious, frowned. "Wait, Motu. We don't know what that is. Could be dangerous." Ignoring Patlu's warning, Motu approached the stone and reached out to touch it. The moment his fingers brushed its surface, the ground beneath them trembled. The once quiet night was filled with the eerie sound of whispering voices, and a cold wind blew through the trees. Suddenly, a figure appeared from the shadows. A tall, cloaked man with piercing eyes and a long staff in hand. "You have awakened the curse of the moonstone," he bellowed. "Whoever touches it is bound to its fate unless they solve its mystery before the next full moon. Otherwise, Furfuri Nagar will be doomed." Patlu, now more concerned than ever, pulled Motu back. "I told you not to touch it. Now we're stuck in another adventure." The mysterious man, introducing himself as Raja Tharun, a sorcerer from the ancient times, revealed that the moonstone was an artifact of immense power, created by the rulers of a lost empire to control the forces of nature. However, the stone was cursed long ago, and whoever awakened it would be responsible for either breaking or amplifying the curse. "You must follow the path of the moonstone and unlock its secrets before the curse consumes everything," the sorcerer said gravely. The first trial, the Forest of Shadows. The first clue was hidden deep in the Forest of Shadows, a place known for its strange, shifting trees and creatures that only appeared at night. Dr. Jhatka, Ghasitaram, and Inspector Chingam joined them, as usual, ready for anything. Chingam, with his usual bravado, declared, "No curse can stand against the law. It's full-on power time." Armed with determination and Motu's love for food, they ventured into the dark forest. The trees seemed to move, their branches forming eerie shapes, and strange whispers filled the air. Every now and then, glowing eyes peered at them from the shadows. As they moved deeper into the forest, they came across a group of stone statues, all of them carved with terrified expressions. Dr. Jhatka examined one of the statues closely. These people were turned to stone by the curse. We must be careful. Suddenly, a chilling wind swept through the forest, and the shadows began to move. A pack of shadowy wolves emerged from the darkness, their eyes glowing with a supernatural light. Motu, as usual, ran straight toward the danger. "Samosas will give me strength," he yelled, but as he charged, the wolves multiplied. Patlu quickly realized that fighting the wolves wasn't the solution. "Motu, these wolves are made of shadows. We need to find light to defeat them." Dr. Jhatka, always prepared, pulled out a special gadget, a flashlight that emitted a powerful beam of sunlight. As the light hit the wolves, they dissipated into thin air. The group made their way through the forest, guided by the light, until they reached an ancient stone altar. On the altar was an inscription: "Only those with courage and kindness may pass." Patlu, recognizing the test, instructed everyone to place their hands on the altar. "It's testing our intentions. We need to prove that we're not just here for power, but to break the curse and save Furfuri Nagar." The altar glowed with a bright light, and a hidden door opened, revealing the next clue: a glowing pendant shaped like a crescent moon. The second trial, the Mountain of the Stars. The clue led them to the Mountain of the Stars, a treacherous peak known for its sheer cliffs and sudden storms. According to the legend, the moonstone was linked to the stars, and the next part of their journey required them to find the star key, hidden at the peak. The journey up the mountain was dangerous. Strong winds threatened to blow them off course, and the path was filled with crumbling rocks. But Motu, motivated by his usual hunger, found his strength. "If we hurry, I can have a samosa break at the top," he cheered. At one point, a massive avalanche blocked their path. Ghasitaram suggested turning back, but Patlu refused. "We can't give up now. We're getting closer to the end." Dr. Jhatka pulled out another of his inventions, a jet-powered climbing device. Using it, they soared over the avalanche and continued their ascent. Near the peak, they found an ancient observatory, with a massive telescope pointed at the sky. Inside the observatory was a puzzle involving the stars. The room was filled with constellations that needed to be aligned in the correct order. Patlu, using his knowledge of astronomy, figured out the pattern and unlocked a hidden compartment, where the star key lay. As soon as they grabbed the key, the sky above them lit up with a dazzling display of shooting stars. The final clue appeared before them, written in the light: "To break the curse, return the moonstone to its rightful place under the full moon." The final showdown, the Lunar Temple. The final part of their journey led them to the Lunar Temple, an ancient structure built on a cliff overlooking the sea. According to Ghasitaram, the moonstone had to be placed on the altar at the center of the temple during the full moon's highest point. However, the curse had grown stronger as the full moon approached. As they neared the temple, strange forces began pulling them back. The temple's guardians, ancient warriors made of stone, came to life and blocked their path. Inspector Chingam, with his usual enthusiasm, tried to fight the stone warriors, but his efforts were in vain. "I'll stop them with the law," he shouted, but the warriors didn't budge. Motu, thinking quickly, remembered something the sorcerer had said earlier: "Only those with pure hearts can break the curse." Realizing that violence wouldn't work, Patlu called out to the guardians: "We don't seek power or riches. We seek to protect Furfuri Nagar from the curse." The guardians paused, their stone forms trembling. Slowly, they stepped aside, allowing the group to pass. At the heart of the temple, under the light of the full moon, Motu carefully placed the moonstone on the altar. The sky above them swirled with light, and the curse began to break. The temple glowed with a brilliant light, and the moonstone shattered into 1,000 tiny stars, freeing Furfuri Nagar from its dark fate. A new beginning. With the curse lifted, the mysterious Raja Tharun thanked them and disappeared into the night, his mission finally complete. Furfuri Nagar was safe once again, and the people celebrated Motu Patlu and their friends for their bravery. As they walked back home, Motu patted his stomach. Patlu. Next time let's go on an adventure that involves more food and less danger. Patlu chuckled. We'll see, Motu, but I think we've had enough excitement for a while. And with that, they returned to their peaceful lives in Furfuri Nagar until the next adventure came calling.